Well, hello, hello, hello. Top of the Friday morning to you on episode 4, I believe, of the Digital Discovery Show, a digital show all about transitioning our wonderful small businesses of Australia from small to smart. And welcome to all of you that are joining us live across all of our Facebook and YouTube channels across our tourism tribe and Navii Digital, who the show is brought to you by. And today I have a very special guest with me. Welcome to you, our fellow triber, and I mean, millennial magic is what it's all about today. Emily sprinkles our days and our digital footprint with her wonderful perspective on the world, and we want to share that and her with you. So, welcome, Emily. Thank you for joining me this morning.
No worries. I'm excited.
I'm excited to be chatting with you. Now, for everyone that's joined us live, please jump on board. We love interacting with you on these shows. So please share your comments and please, we welcome your aha moments and your questions too. Please don't hesitate to share that. So, Emily, now you've really evolved during your time at Tourism Tribe. You've joined us as a marketing intern. You are still currently studying marketing. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you love most about, your real job.
Real job. So I'm in my third year of uni. I started my internship with Tourism Tribe in February and definitely come a long way. My first time being in the industry, and I guess what I love the most is I didn't realize how much of an impact we can have on people and how much of an impact they can have on us. Like just the daily interactions we have with all our members is just so heartwarming. I just love it.
Oh, I love that, Emily. And that's so true. We are there to help and support and serve our members, but they also serve us in that same way. I love that. Now, you've been raised with digital capability in your DNA. You said that in a recent conversation that as a millennial I'm raised with digital, and I love that. So you've got a natural gift when it comes to the likes of social media, which you've really taken a leading role in managing our socials. So when it comes to social media copy, design, and a framework, do you think what can you attribute this talent to? Like, is it something that you have to come with a level of a gift, do you think, or it's something you have to keep working on?
Definitely not. You don't have to have any gift. Fortunately for me, I've been running my own Instagram account since I was probably like 10 years old. So I've like grown up on like social media. So I guess over the years I figured out what I like, what I don't like. There's so many changes been made on Instagram over the years. So like even if I did have a natural born gift, everything just changes and evolves. I guess it's kind of getting used to everything and figuring it out as you go. Definitely where I was a year ago is not where I am today. I'm always evolving. But in terms of like copy and design, I guess it's knowing what you like and following accounts that like you can be inspired by, that you can get, ideas and inspiration from is really important, because I can guarantee that all of my ideas don't come from myself. A lot of it is inspired by other people. And I feel like people don't realize that. People think, oh, I can't do social media because I'm not that creative. Well, most of us aren't. Like, we get inspiration from the world around us, and even just spending like half an hour scrolling through social media, you're bound to find something that you're inspired by that you can, post about. I just feel like it's just such a great, any platform, Instagram, Facebook, doesn't really matter. I guess it's just the platform itself that's just amazing.
That's a really important point that you raised there, that to be successful, to be inspired and get involved in actually some level of immersion in the platform to see what is and having that awareness of what is inspiring you, of what's made your thumb stop or made you click and draw inspiration when you are performing your own socials. So that's a key point that you've raised, that it's not, a lot of people say, oh, it's for the young kids, it's not for me, but that's not necessarily the case. And it's interesting when you say you've been on it since you were 10. And for anyone that might be having the same challenges as I do at the moment, I have a 10 and a 12-year-old that want to go on Instagram. What would be your advice looking back on your 10-year-old self? Do you think that's a good idea, starting on social media at that young age? Or do you think that's something that we should pause and wait till you're at least 13, as the rules say?
Wow, that's a big question. I would say I started Instagram when it first started. So I guess we didn't really know what it was about. Wasn't this platform it is today. And the same with Facebook. Facebook had been established for a very long time. But in the world we live in today, I probably won't let my 10-year-old have a Instagram account. I feel like when I was that age and had Instagram, it's very different to when it is now. Things are changing, unfortunately, and sometimes it's not so good. So I don't know. I guess they have restrictions in place for being 13 for a reason. But yeah, I don't know.
I hope you've served as many people that are listening as you have me. So now the answer will be because my Emily said so. Thank you, Emily. I think that's I'm in this world 24/7, and it's just something that I'm kind of holding off on, because I think once you're in it from a young age, so it's interesting to hear your perspective on that one. Thank you. Now, what is something that really triggered me to say you would be an excellent guest on our show was what you shared, your story around booking your own weekend away, and just how influential the imagery played a role in the accommodation that you chose. You had two to choose from for it's a weekend away, wasn't it? It's a weekend away you booked in December with your girlfriends, and you had two properties to choose from, but there was one that stood out. Can you share with us a little bit more about your decision to make that booking that might help our accommodation friends or any business that's tuning in and listening to us? So just how, from your perspective, what it was that drove you to make that decision?
Well, I guess I was able to analyze it from a marketer's perspective, so I can understand why my decisions were what they were. But basically, we had two Airbnbs to choose from, and you could tell straight away who their target market was. So I think there's 8 of us going. So we're obviously going to get a really big house that can house all of us. We've got even partners coming as well. So there's a lot of us going. So it's very different if it was just a little apartment with maybe a couple. So you could tell that the one that we chose, you could tell that they were really pushing the fact that, when you go there, you want to have a great time with your friends and family. You want really shared spaces where you can have fun. You can, play games and just interact with each other in a really good group environment. So the one we chose, instead of just showing the bedrooms and bathrooms first, they kind of really emphasized the outdoor backyard space with the pool and how it had a big barbecue and a nice bar, and there was a ping pong table. You could tell that they really emphasized the fact that they had those features and really pushed it as they kind of communicated and shared that it was more of an experience than an accommodation. Looking at the pictures, I could be oh yeah, I can see me and my friends, getting a drink, having a barbecue, and just chilling and playing games by the pool in this specific accommodation, compared to the other one that was kind of just it was lovely and beautiful, but it didn't really, I couldn't picture myself there having a great time like I did in the first place. So I feel like knowing your target market, why they want to come there, and then showing that, I feel like it's really important. And I guess I didn't really notice that until I started looking for accommodation places, that how my decision kind of impacted, like if I could see myself, having a good time there. I feel like that's really important for any like accommodation place to kind of think about.
Was that a moment you went, all this work that we do with clients, this is
Definitely,
why I am
definitely.
that girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I
That is such key because I mean, just yesterday we worked on an SEO project, and that was the beginning of delivering this SEO project of doing who
the
is your
target
target market.
yeah,
But what I love of what you've just shared is that it's not just about the copy, about what we're doing in copy that can translate how you attract or create that, or attraction to your lead audience. Your images, they don't say that for nothing, that they speak 1,000 words. So
so I do.
creating visuals. In light of that, also, we're moving on to social media. If we can kind of get some, delve into that millennial magic that you bring to the table, which we just adore. In terms of social media helping you drive that decision, is that something also that helps with, the brands that you engage with?
Yes, social media is it's very like important with how brands kind of communicate themselves, and I like to think of it as like their own little website. So like a lot of people, members that we interact with, they focus on having like really nice images and just like really nice simple images, but they kind of think of the images as separate single images, and they don't think of their, like, for example, let's just say their Instagram account as like a whole. So I understand when people think that themes aren't really important, because when you're scrolling through your Instagram feed, you'll see one image from that brand, and that's all they'll see. It's a really nice image, they'll like it, but I feel like they don't understand that when a new person, a new user goes onto your Instagram, that they see like a quick snapshot of your brand, what it offers. And if all the images, coincide with each other, they make a nice theme. I feel like that's really important, because that's what a new customer is going to look at before they click the follow button, so that they know what to expect when they're about to follow you. So I kind of like compare it to a website. You don't make your website for existing users who already know what you sell, who already know what you're about. You sell it, and you design your website to attract new people, so they can, get a snapshot of what you're about and entice them in to go through your website, go through your products, have a user journey throughout your website. So I feel like that's a little tip and trick that some people don't really realize about the importance of creating like a really aesthetically cohesive Instagram or Facebook or any social media.
Oh, beautifully said, Emily. And we've got Liz that's joining us. She promised, and hence why I'm in the seat. Liz is having a lovely day off from a sunny part of Queensland, and it is. I mean, that is exactly right. In light of changing markets in the current COVID environment that we find ourselves in, it's never been more important again to realign and relook at what that looks like. So it's something that it's not a set and forget. It's also something that if you haven't done yet, or it's a really great time to go back to the core of who your market is, and ensuring that there's alignment. There's alignment between what your website, and then extension of that to all of your other themes within your socials. For yourself personally, is where do you spend most of your time over? Is it spread broadly across Insta and Facebook, or do you find yourself getting into the TikTok space at the moment.
Mhm.
Where are you spending most of your time
I feel like
when it comes to social media?
I'm just gonna hop on Instagram. Like it's no promo, but
Instagram is your yeah, is your
Instagram,
jam.
it is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
I feel like for my generation at least, I am speaking for myself, but I feel like for my generation, Facebook is falling off a bit. It's great for like baby boomers. I feel like they're really thriving on Facebook at the moment. So I feel like that's their kind of social media space. But I feel like Instagram is just taking over millennials and Gen Z and obviously TikTok. I told myself I wouldn't get a TikTok because I knew I would spend 6 hours on it at a time, but I gave in and I do have TikTok. Um,
Yes.
I love spending time on TikTok. Just I learned so much. Like I learned so much. Like when you think about tips and tricks people have, like I every day I'm just learning something new. So I feel like that's like a really good educational space. But in terms of showing photos, your brand, I feel like Instagram encapsulates Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok all into one. I feel like it's just like the perfect platform where you can just get everything you want and it's just laid out so nicely and everyone's on there so you can see everything you need to see. I just, yeah, Instagram all the way for me.
True. As also has the ability to now it's a very TikTok like feature, isn't it? So
Yeah.
stories kind of morphed from Snapchat, the success of Snapchat. Facebook, who owns Instagram, went and introduced stories with us, and I found my own journey. I there's so much exposure to tourism now with tourism specific accounts on Instagram, especially. Have you identified some common areas that you think our industry has for improvement and share some more tips around what businesses can be a little bit more mindful of?
Yes, that's a great question. I feel like I guess it's just dependent on who your target market is. That just comes down to the bottom of everything. But what I find really grabs my attention is minimalistic. My mum used to always tell me more is less, and I never understood it until I do really enjoy content that it's not just like just text and images and just more is less. I feel like it can communicate so much with just a simple picture or Instagram, just a little description in the top corner and not like text everywhere. I feel like more is less. It just makes your brand just look very sleek and minimalistic. I guess it also depends on what your brand is. Some brands that might not apply to, but um, I think it's also really important to understand. I found myself when I was, started running Tourism Tribe social media, I would create content and copy and design that I would like to consume. And I had to take myself away from it and be like, I'm not I'm not Tourism Tribe's target market. So I can't be putting out copy, design and content that I like. I have to understand that I'm not marketing towards myself. I'm marketing towards our target market. And I feel like that's really important because if you are, let's say, a baby boomer and you really like X, Y, and Z, and you post X, Y, and Z, but if that's not who your target market is, you're not going to create a lot of attention and really capture your audience's attention. So I feel like that's an also very important thing that people may not really understand or take into consideration that when they're posting their Instagram or Facebook posts or stuff like that.
Oh, brilliant, Emily. What about video? What are your thoughts on video? Underrated or or overrated? Do you think there's more, it's not used enough?
I guess it's depending what platform you're talking about, I love a good video on, because obviously TikTok, that's all video. YouTube,
Mm.
that's all video. If you go to stories, most of the time that's all video. So I do really like video on Instagram and Facebook stories. I've just realized that I was following a couple other marketing accounts, and to really grab your attention, they used to, I actually tried it on Tourism Tribe's Instagram last night with the video of you. I put out, I type out what you say in the video. Because if I was to go click on like an Instagram story or a Facebook story, if I could read the content quickly in about 5 seconds, I already know what that story is about. And if there's 5 of them after that, I can kind of, I'm just more interested in it. Like if in the first 5 seconds of the video I wasn't grabbed, or like my attention wasn't pulled into the video, then I feel like I would be more likely to get out of the video. But if it had writing and I could read what the whole 10-second, 20-second video was about, I feel like I'm more more obligated and more likely to stay on and watch the content.
Oh, that's brilliant. And it was really interesting when I saw that you had done that, I understood. So what Emily's talking about, we did a short video for our You OK Day, and that's an important day to reach out to all of our friends, family, and colleagues. And Emily ended up putting transcribing the message in a stories. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh, I actually find the same habit, that if I see in the first instance what it's about, you will stay on to see the consequence, the following stories, as
Yeah,
opposed to when it does, which is important in a video. And now it's made a lot easier with the likes of YouTube or even Facebook video, that you can choose the automated captions that they can put, because the default is always on silent. But we have to be careful, because sometimes the spelling can be a bit funky when it's automated. But that's a great tip when it comes to video.
I feel like it's
Now,
also really good. Sorry, just
no, go.
for visual learners, I feel like I sometimes like to learn visually. So if you like to consume content, I know some people that watch Netflix videos with the subtitles on, even though they can hear it perfectly. Some people just like to consume content with text. They like to read it as well as listen to it. So if that's something that you find your audience, enjoys, I feel like it would be very beneficial. You need, because I looked at the analytics for our stories, and I saw that less people exited it out in the first couple of stories than if we were to normally post it, because they were just grabbed by the text, and they wanted to watch more. So I feel like that was really
Yes.
cool to see. Yeah.
And that's another important thing that you raise. Like, we all ingest information differently. So being someone that, if you're more visual, you like to read, you like to listen. So that's a good, we've got our markets, but it's also repurposing content for different, I guess, modalities of taking in information. So if you are doing a video, repurposing it in a blog can just attract your market in a new way again, which is a good thing to, it's an excellent point to make. Now, you're in your final stretch of your marketing degree, which
Yeah.
is amazing. So you're in your final year. May I ask, with the digital immersion that you've had in your time with Tourism Tribe, is this something that your marketing degree prepared you for from a digital perspective? This is not to discount, like, you've done like foundations, no future. That's something we've talked about before. Is that something that you feel that you were prepared for?
That's a great question. I've actually already finished my whole of my marketing major. I'm on my second major now, so I've done all the content I need to learn for marketing, and I feel like they're a bit behind in terms of digital marketing, and all of my I think I took 9 subjects for digital, like for marketing, but only one of them was digital marketing. So in the world where everything's going digital, I found that I learned everything that I learned at uni was, I just learned so more working at Tourism Tribe. And throughout uni, I thought everything was about like SEO and search engine marketing and everything like that. And when I came to Tourism Tribe, I didn't even know what a lead magnet was, let alone like the sales funnel, anything like that. So yes, it's like really good because like I learned how to do a SWOT analysis, a customer persona, a competitor analysis. I understand it, everything in terms of that aspect. But when it came to actual digital marketing, how to optimize a website and everything like that, I feel like I wasn't taught that. But yeah, I learned all the basics, but not a lot of the digital marketing stuff.
Oh, look, and that's the importance for any of your, your friends and colleagues mixing your study with practical and putting your hand up to do internships. How valuable that's been for you. And even in my short time, it's been, I think we were just saying earlier today, it's been 5 weeks. I've seen your growth every week. There's something new to love and appreciate about what you bring, Emily, and it's a joy to be working with you. Is there anything like what's in the future for you? What is inspiring? So tourism wasn't on the cards for you, or necessarily. You went into your degree with an interest in marketing.
Yeah.
Has your vision for your future? What's on the cards? I'd love to, is that something that you've given thought to?
Not really. I went going into my degree. I didn't know if that's what I wanted, but that's the only thing I kind of was really interested in at that time. And I guess business runs in my family, so I was like, you know what, I'll give it a crack. And then I really enjoyed marketing. So after my first digital marketing subject where I learned about SEO and all that stuff, like I wanted to learn more. And I thought that's what digital marketing was all about. I was like, I need to get an internship. I need to learn more. I need to know more. And I guess I wasn't looking for a particular job in tourism, but once I got it, it just two paths aligned, and it just makes so much sense because I've been working in the hospitality and tourism industry for a couple of years now. I love traveling. I love everything to do with tourism and travel. So it was just perfect. I didn't ever see myself working in tourism, but definitely see myself working in tourism for a long time into the future. I don't really plan. Don't know what I want to do in 10, 20, 30 years time. But I guess I don't like to plan because you never know what's around the corner. Like I feel like with my kind of this generation, we're going to go through 5 to 10 jobs. So I feel like I can't really plan for that. I just take it how it goes.
Take it how it goes. Follow the feels.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. Now, Tristel has asked, do you have your own personal social media handles? Is that something that have you got an Instagram account that you'd like to share of your own?
I do, but I don't really post. The last time I posted on that, I think was maybe in February. I don't, with lockdown, I don't go out. I don't, I used to.
And you're very busy. You're kept very busy running the socials for us.
Yes.
But at Tourism Tribe, if you follow at Tourism Tribe on Instagram, you will see that is all of Emily's great work. So I will. That is. Thank you for everyone. Was there anything parting words or of wisdom or insights that you would like to share with everyone before we wrap up, Emily?
Oh, I don't know. We spoke about a lot.
Yeah.
I don't can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Oh, look, just to summarize, I think what Emily's shared as being aesthetically pleasing, having, really drawing your audience when you're using images and something like and on a platform like Instagram, think about the experience that you want to really be portraying for your business. So it's not just, the actual, like, this is a room. Think about how will I portray what the experience is of visiting. So if there's ocean, if there's garden, if there's beautiful bushland, like, try and encapsulate the visual aspect, bringing in your brand from what's happening on your website, having alignment. And I loved what you shared around using captions, which thank you, Julie. Some fantastic points around captions and using tools like stories also overlaying with text. So some really good gold stuff there, Emily. We're very lucky to have you. We're very thankful and grateful that you joined us on the show today. We have a lot more content available on our website. We do have a free course available to anyone that's listening on tourismtribe.com and then / and you can see our free course on smart marketing. And if there's any other questions, please feel free to join us on our show next week at the Digital Discovery Show, 10 o'clock every Friday. And next week we'll have another special and exciting guest to share with you. Thank you, Emily, and thank you, Hannah, our other Tourism Tribe legend behind the scenes. And thank you to Liz and Julie and everyone that joined us on the show and contributed their insights. Until next week, I'll have a wonderful weekend, everyone.